Hello everyone, welcome to my podcast that is Pencil and Profit. What I'll be doing is I'll be talking about my journey so far as a video guy or a photographer. Okay, so that's what I'll be doing. I will talk about some of the things I've put in place to be where I am today. I'll also talk about the challenges I've had. As for the challenges, I have a lot. There are mistakes I have done, so I'll be talking about all of that. Now, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do well and subscribe. What we'll be doing is that if you want to ask a question, you can call the number I'm going to put it on the screen. You can call the number on the screen. It's 02059277731, and I will let you ask your question, or you can put it in the comment section for me. Okay, so once again, welcome to my podcast, Pizzle and Profit. When we talk about Pizzle, we are talking about the small dot that comes together to make a picture. So we are going to look at the bigger picture, and then we are going to look at how you can make profit. Okay. Now, when I started my photography, the first camera I used was 700D. Okay, so those EOS 700D. I think at the time I bought only one. Then I had my first client. It was a wedding, and I was able to shoot it. But at the end of the day, I was not able to make money from it because I didn't charge well. So that was my first experience for wedding. Then when it comes to other types of photography like location and studio, I'm going to also talk about that journey. Okay, so and then I will be sharing. This is not going to just be today. Every day I will share with you some of the things I have done and put in place to be where I am. I hope to reach somewhere. I am not there yet. I want to have billions in my account. Okay, and I don't think I'm there yet. So I'm hoping in the next 5 years where I want to be, I should be there. Yeah. So we'll also talk about that. Now, if you have any question, you can leave it in the comment section. Or when I ask for a question and then you have a question to ask, you can leave that question for me. Or you can call the number that is on the screen. Okay. Then I will attend to it. Thank you. Now, how did I start photography and video? Okay, so I think I was having the passion and I was having it as a talent. Okay, so I remembered there was this camera, those days that we have the film camera that you put a film in it and then you take, and before you even let people, before you go and print, what we call normally in my language, we say you are going to wash. You share the negative with people to look at it, and then they do the selection. So that's how I started. So there is this woman in my town that was having a camera. I don't remember how she got that camera, but she had a camera and she has given the camera to me, and I started. Now, one mistake I did was I was shooting mostly my church members. Okay, so when you go to church and people take the picture, they will ask you for the picture and all of that. So yes, I was happy taking the pictures, but the mistake I did was I was not. They say the sound is not loud. Let me check. Can you hear me now? Because it should be now. Please, if you're online and you can hear me, let me know. Because the signal I'm getting here should be okay. Guys, check my channel and see if the sound is okay over there. So we are trying to check the sound and work on it. Okay, so that is my first mistake I did. I took the picture. Some of them I gave the pictures out, and I never got my money. So at a point I lost interest. Please, can you check the sound, those online? Okay, so I just believe the sound is okay at my end. So if you're online and you can't hear, well, let me know. So that is how I started. So I was having the interest. When I see computer and I look at it, I want to go to the computer. When I go to school, I want to go and switch on the computer and do a lot. Then one day I saw a man. Those days we were having the VHS, that tape. So he was able to transfer it to a CD, and I was wondering how is he able to do that. So that is my second uh, my second journey to videography. So when I saw the way he was doing it, I asked him and he showed me. So you have to get a capture card and then you connect it to Premiere Pro or any other software and then you capture it. Okay. So then I'm like, oh, so I'm going to get it. Michael, people are still saying the sound is not good. Check. Okay, I'm check. Okay, the sound is too loud here. Okay, we will come to it. Okay, my son was having issue. I want to work on it. If you can hear me, it's okay. Just let me know. Okay. So I think it's the channel that I was working with. Okay, guys, can you check for me? Is it better now? So I think it's the channel that I was working with. Okay, so I believe the sound is better now because I can hear it clearly over here. If you can hear me clearly, let me know. It's okay now. Okay, thank you. Okay, so sorry for that. I was using line and think the line was blasting. Okay, so that's how I started before I came to University of Ghana. So when I came to University of Ghana, I was taking pictures. I was with Pensa. So Pensa play a very important role in whatever I do now. Because I was with them, I was using their camera. They had a camera at the time. There are some small cameras, so I was using it to do photography. At a point, I started taking video, and I have to go out to rent cameras to do the video and then the photography. So that's how I was doing it my entire time on campus. So I was mostly doing video, photography, and graphic design, especially for those who are going for positions. Okay, so I was making money, little money on campus, saving some, knowing that I want to buy a camera. So that is how I started. Then as time went, I started getting some money, put it down. Then I did my national service. After my national service, where I did my national service, they were giving us some money at the end of the service. I think national service was 200 cedis at the time. When we finished, they gave us about 1,500. It was in Dallas. So 1,500. We converted it was around 1,500 or 2,000. So that helped me to get my first 700D camera, which at the time I was completing. A friend of mine the sister was getting married, and she asked us to go and take it, and I was able to take it. That was the shoot I was saying that I didn't actually make any profit from it. And then I started from there. Then I have a friend called Bernard. So he was with me. So we started and we decided to use the name Encore. The name Encore was actually coming from Pensa. One guy, Hansen, who named the media team. So we wanted to register the name because we have been able to project the name for some time. So we registered the name. And so that's how we have Encore Media registered. Now, as we all know, everybody will want to just take pictures. You go to your room, you edit, and then you you take your money, whatever you want to use the money for, that is your own business. But the idea is that we wanted to establish a company, okay? We want to open it as a company. And one of the reasons is that we want to have quality and at the same time cheaper, okay? So we decided to look out for a space after school. After school, I went somewhere to work for about less than a year. The idea is to be able to know how they operate, how organizations operate, okay, how a company will operate. So from there, I know that there's something called petty cash, there's something called invoicing and all that. So I was looking at them, how they were doing things, processes, how they buy things, how they allocate money. The idea is to be able to learn those things to apply to my company. So when I came back, we started a company. I started with Ben, and then now the other thing is location. Where are we going to get a studio? We needed a studio. On campus, I was doing pictures already. I know a lot of people, so I can go to location and take pictures. But then we needed a studio, and that is where the challenge is going to be. Now, I remembered going to East Legon, Achimota to look for a place, and the amount they were mentioning, and they were in Dallas, and they said you have to pay for 2 years. So that was a struggle. At the time, my friends said, okay, we know somebody who is at Amasaman, Steven. He was doing sound. He has a big space. So we asked him to give us one of the space to use, and he has given it to us. And then we started. So we started getting clients, okay? Now, how did I get client from the beginning? It was just my friends from University of Ghana, people I know from University of Ghana. They were the one who, after school, were contacting me to do the work for them. So most of the clients I started with were people I know from campus. They are families of people I know from campus, or they are friends of people I know from campus. Okay, so that's very important. If wherever you find yourself, if you're in the community, you have to show yourself. People have to know what you do. Okay, I was doing that on campus. People know that this is what I do. And so it was easy for me to get my client. Okay, at a point too, I was shooting students for free. I was shooting most of my colleagues for free. So they have my pictures. Sometimes people show me pictures like, oh, Andy, this picture, you've taken this picture back 2008, 2009, 2010. Okay, and it's still sharp. So most of these people I started with are just colleagues, families, and friends. So we started, and luckily we were getting quite a number of weddings because the pictures were coming out nice. Now, one thing about me is that I have to develop a certain niche or a style. So when you are doing photography, you have to identify your niche, or you have to look at your style. So artistry is very important, okay? So you see some people, they want to do black and white. Some people want to do different style. Now, when you look at my picture, you see that the picture is so clear that it just looks like how the person is. So if you do a makeup, I want people to see you and see that this is you. So then clients who want that particular style will come to me. That is why I have challenge with people who probably have seen your picture, that this is the kind of style you do. And then when they come and take picture, you edit for them, and then they will be like, oh no, I want it this way. It means that the person didn't understand the way you take your picture. So it's very important when you want to show your portfolio to your client, you should show them what you do, what you are okay with. For example, I can take pictures vintage, I can do any other thing, make it darker, but even within me myself, I know that I wouldn't like it. Okay, so that is very important. You have to pay attention to your niche, your artistry style is very important. So that is what people know us for. They call us purposely to be able to shoot for them. Okay, so that is very, very important when you want to start photography and video. Know what works for you, and then you work towards that. Okay, don't see somebody's style and say, oh, I'm copying that style. Sometimes you can do all around. Some of us, we still do all around. Okay, so when we were at Amasama, we've seen a place and we decided to go for the place. The man gave it to us for a year. It was cheaper, and then we started. So that's how we started. We were actually following every process. we started doing petty cash, invoicing, and all of that, and we started contract. So we got a lawyer to draft a contract for our wedding. We also got somebody to do marketing plan for us. This guy is called Baini. He was very good. He was able to come up with a very good. I just told him that I'm doing photography and video. And he came up with a marketing plan, how you have to get the client, and then projected for us how much you have to get in a year. Okay. Then somebody also came in. A man came in doing budget for us every year. So he would do the budget and tell us that this is the amount of money we have to make in a year. This is how much we are supposed to pay each person working. So we were having guys that we were paying. There are times we pay salary that we don't even have money left on us. Yes, I remember very well. There was a time we pay salary that we have to walk from Amasama Township to the Sapema, because normally we take car, but because we didn't have money. So there are times that we have to sell certain things just to pay salary. Now we can do the work without even giving an employment, but we wanted to be a company. We wanted to bring people together. When it happens like that, once you are running a company, the operational cost is going to be higher. If it's me alone and I'm in my room, I will go out and take the picture and come and edit. That is fine. But once you are bringing in people, you know that you have to pay salary, and then you have to buy equipment. Now, those days, the equipment were not that very expensive, but it was also not that easy. But it was easy to buy certain things. Not like these days that camera is quite expensive. Okay, so we've done that for a couple of time, and then I started getting corporate shoot from friends. So I had USAID, GIZ, and all of that. I was doing those projects. That USAID brought in a lot of money. Now, this is what I'm going to say, that it's very important when you start a business, pick one thing you want to do and concentrate on it, or else you will finish and just regret. So we have done some things that up to now, I still regret them. I regretted a lot of the things because instead of just focusing on one, we wanted to bring in other things. So we started what we call Walk Down the Alley. It was a TV show. We were thinking we were going to get sponsors, and unfortunately, we didn't get sponsors. And later, when I calculated the amount that was gone into at the time, it was more than 50,000. So it was just a waste. We wasted that money just like that, and other things. So at the point, even though I say I'm doing graphic design, I have to pause and say that let me concentrate on video and photography. And I was getting weddings. There was a year that only 2 Saturdays that I didn't get a wedding. I was shooting throughout. There are times that we have weddings 2 times in a week. And at the time, even this guy, Source Photography, was even shooting for me. I would pay him and he'll go and shoot, and then pay the other people to go and shoot. So I was making use of freelance a lot. We have a Timeline Creative that was also giving us his people to do the shoot for us. They are very good. When they come to location, they shoot from the beginning to the end, no complaint, nothing, and the shots are always good. Okay, so Ben left. Then there's something I would probably want to talk about, but I've gone into some agreement to merge, and then by the time I came back, everything was gone. A lot of my equipment are not working again. So that brought me back to zero. Okay, zero. Like when I say zero, I couldn't pay salary. I couldn't pay anybody. Those who were with me at the time, I called them. I told them that this is the situation. If you want to leave, you can go, because I will not be able to pay the full salary that I wanted to pay. This is what I can do. I can constantly give you guys money for transport, food, and all of that. So most of them stay with me, and I told them that if the money comes in as a when, I will give them. So I wouldn't keep money myself. I was just giving out the money. Now, there is also something, if you are doing a business, you have to also pay attention to, is that Your business money should be your business money. You should separate it from your personal money. I was most of the times giving out money. Please, those of you on TikTok, join my YouTube, okay? If you are on TikTok, join my YouTube because that is very clear. So I was constantly giving out money to people who ask. They ask and I just give the money. And so it became like at a point I couldn't save, I couldn't do anything. But luckily at the time that I was dating, the person I was dating was so serious on me saving. So where I was first, I was saving a lot of money. So when I left there, just imagine getting a 3-bedroom self-compound in Achimota, how much it's going to cost. It's quite huge. At the end of the year, when I'm going to pay, I sometimes feel like crying. Okay, but I was able to save towards that. So one day I was there, I saw the place and I decided to pick the place. Okay, so from Amasama I went to Accra Digital Center. Then I'm now at Achimota. So the journey it wasn't smooth. It's just like you have a lot of things. At a point when COVID came during that time, that I took the decision. That was it. After COVID, everything vanished. Okay, even though some works were coming, I was still struggling because I have to pay salaries. So I have to even let some people go, so I can do the work myself. Okay. Now, one thing that also helped me is that because of how I am with my clients, I tend to keep a lot of my clients. Okay. Year in, year out. So there are clients. Last Saturday I did a shoot for a client, and I look at the whole family. It was about 5 people who they were doing the outdooring. 5. So you can just imagine 5 people doing outdooring will have a lot of family members coming to the outdooring. But surprisingly, I could tell the family of my client. I could tell that these are the family. I can look into your face and say, oh, this is the family. I will say, oh, this person, I've seen this person at the wedding. I've seen this person at the first child outdooring. I've seen the person at the second child outdooring. I've seen this person at the funeral. It's just because that client stick with me throughout. Okay. I have clients who have stick with me throughout since I've started with them. I have a lot of them. And sometimes they behave like they are stakeholders. That's how I normally call them. They are stakeholders of the business. Because for them, I'm a little lenient on them. Some of them I don't even send them package, because if I send the package, they see the price, they will even want to run. So sometimes I'm lenient with them. Sometimes because of that trust I have for them, you'll be surprised they will call me to come for a shoot and I won't take money before going, because normally you pay 100% before I will come. But for them, it's like that. I have somebody who is almost every year, probably I will have done 2 or 3 shoots for them. So I'm able to keep clients and I get a lot of recommendation. Social media doesn't work that much for me. So I get a lot of recommendation from people. People are recommending me. And then so that is how my business works. I'm getting a lot of clients through referrals. People were doing a lot of referrals for me. So I can shoot for this family. You realize that almost everybody in the family will know us. Okay. So, and normally that is something I don't joke with. Okay. So if you are working for me, I make sure you have to respect my client. You have to respect, especially my old clients. Some of them I know they have gone. At the point, maybe they are fed up, things happen and they are gone. But they still come back. Okay. They still do come back to, no matter what happened, when they are gone, they still will come, and then I do my shoot with them. So I have clients that almost every year I'm shooting, unless there's no major thing happening in their life. Now, these days, you see that people are not taking a lot of studio pictures. People don't have money. Okay. Yes, people don't have money, but we have people who are constantly taking pictures. So you have to build your client base. You have to be in touch with them. You have to know how you relate with them. Some of us don't know how to relate with some of our clients. When problem comes, then That is it. And we also have clients who give you a lot of trouble. There are times that you have to let go of some. Okay, there are clients probably I won't go and shoot because I know it is going to bring trouble. Okay, so that is very important. You have to build your client base. That will help you get a lot of referrals. So some of you started the photography video and you are not getting clients. If I tell you the number of clients I get in a year is huge. Okay, it's just that our equipment are too expensive and sometimes you have to change and then your money is going. Right now, last week I bought a lens for somebody. It was 30,000, 35. It was 35,000. Like a lens, 35,000. Like how are you going to save? So it's very important to build on your client base, work with them, understand them. There are times I will insist that this is the budget you have to pay. There are times I will look into the budget for you and tell you that I pay this amount. Now, it's not every day that I say no to some of the shoots. Sometimes I'll tell you that, okay, you give me this amount of money or pay this amount and I'll put your shoot down. Then when I get a second one, I'm going to get freelance. So maybe your money is going to cover the cost of doing the work for you and then doing the work for the other person and then paying my guys. So I do that calculation. Once I have a little profit to pay the guys, then I know that one of the shoot is going to, the money coming from there is going to be intact. Okay. So that is how that one is. Now, when it comes to corporate shoot, getting corporate documentary programs and all of that, most of the corporate institutions will demand that you have VAT, you are registered. They want to look at your website, they want to see what you stand for and all of that. They are looking for professionalism. So most of the times, those who have worked with me or those who are still working with me will tell you that I don't joke with dressing. You can't just dress anyhow to a corporate event. If you're not going to wear our t-shirt, then you can't just go anyhow. Okay. So I will make sure I insist on some of these things. The way you appear, even your hair and all of that is very important for corporate shoot. Okay. Then you have to put these things in place. Your VAT, you have to be a registered company. You must have your profile, your portfolio. You must have a very strong one. Most of the companies that is going to give you documentary will ask for 3 sample videos. 3. So you must have that one. And so you must have your portfolio. You must write a proposal to request for it. It is very, very important. Okay, it's very important. So try and get those things if you don't have them. One other thing that I've seen a lot of startups not doing is website. You cannot do this, or especially for corporate, without doing website. I have about a couple of websites. I have a website that is the main Anchor Media. When you go, it looks more corporate than the photography.anchormedia.com. The idea is that when people go there, they shouldn't just see that I'm doing studio shoot. They should see that I do a lot of corporate. So those who are asking for corporate, I show them that website. Those who are asking for just the normal photography, I show them those ones too. Okay. So it's very important. It's very important to have a website. Now, when you do website, you can optimize SEO optimization. They should optimize it for you so that when people go and search Google, they can get your business. Now, I always say this, that when you are within your own premises and then you type your business category, for example, if I type studio near me and I am not seeing Anchor photography, it means there's something wrong with my search engine optimization. So if you are within your business and you search for photography studio near me and you see yourself in the first 3 that will appear at the top, it means your search engine is working correctly. That's what we call organic search. So it's very important that you have a website. That is what is going to appear when people search for the category and your name. I had a gig last 3 years from Nigeria. It was these African banks. It was a very big program at the Kempinski. I was able to shoot that because they've gone online. They have seen my website, they have gone through the pictures, and once they send me an email, we reply the email, got the contract. Okay. Some of us don't even reply to our email. Me, as I'm here, and if an email comes in, I will know. Some of us don't. We want people to tell us that I've sent you an email, which is not good. Your email have to come constantly. Now I'm paying for my email. I'm paying for it because it's Microsoft and it comes very fast. Okay. So in my next episode, what I'll be doing is I'll be looking at some of the softwares that I've been using to help my business. Okay. So pay attention to that. Do a website. Now the social media pages, go on all of them. Okay. I have employed somebody who was working on the pages. So you have somebody who was posting and all of that. You can also do that if you think you have the muscles to. But if not, then you have to do it yourself. You have to do the posting yourself. Okay. You have to. It's these days that I feel lazy doing it, but you have to keep on posting. That is how people will go and search and look for your name. Okay. So that is also very important. Create a website, create your social media pages. Okay. And be consistent in posting every time. Okay. I haven't been consistent recently because I even have my clients who come in. The last time I did work for PwC is just because somebody saw me on TikTok and then he called and I was able to do that. Okay. Now there are some companies that I'm doing work for. So for example, if you take KPMG, PIAC, a couple of them, every year I'm shooting for them. So every program they are doing, almost every week or every month, I'm there shooting. I have gone into an agreement that, hey, I'm giving you this at this amount. It doesn't have to be high too much because there's an assurance that they are going to give me work. Okay, so you give them some moderate, you be at a certain level and make sure it's professional. Make sure you give them quality and they will stick with you. Okay, if you give them quality work and you comport yourself, sometimes you can give quality work and your character doesn't speak well, you'll be in trouble. Okay. Sometimes you have to humble yourself in that way. You have to know how you communicate with them, how you address them, how you reply to their email. You know, they are going to be working with email. How you reply to them, to tell them that, oh, this person is professional. Okay. The last time we were doing a program for Japanese, the woman came and was like, oh, your guys, they are good. So that's very important for corporate. Okay, even with weddings and all of that, it's still important. How you relate with the family of the bride and the groom, you have to pay certain level of attention to everything. You respect the family, you respect everybody. You pay attention to things that are happening within the event. I've gone to a lot of events. I've been able to help resolve a lot of issues around so many things, not just photography and video. I've gone somewhere, no sound. I have to go and bring my speaker to just make sure sound is coming. Okay. I've gone somewhere, it rain. I have to help carry the chest and make sure it's arranged how I want it arranged and all of that. I've done all of that. Okay. And once you do it, those clients will tend to be like a family and they are going to stick with you no matter what. And they will mention your name everywhere they go. Okay, I have people who are always defending me. They would say, Andy, there is good. You do this and that. It's very important. When you go for your client event, don't just pay attention to video and photography, but pay attention to their well-being, making sure that the event is going as planned because it's not easy. It's not easy to put this huge amount of money in our hands just to get photography. So that's very, very important. Now, I will talk about how some of the things I've been able to get them. Okay. Now, there are times I buy things, I import them. I import about 3 or 4. So I know that the profit I will get on it is going to be the 4th one that I will use myself. So yeah, you can you can also do it. But sometimes it's just risky doing importation. You may even cry. I have also built credibility with a lot of the stores. Okay, so Go Pizza, Impact Photos, Bellsmart, all of these people, I can walk in and pick an item and tell them I'm sending the money next week by this time, and the money will will come. I will send it. Okay, so you have to build that credibility. You have to be truthful when it comes to that. So right now, if I can just send a message to Go Pizzas that please send this to my office, and in the next 1 hour, a rider will come here and bring it because he is so sure that I'm going to pay for the item. So that is very important. You have to build credibility with vendors, people who are selling your equipment and all of that. Now, I am in Achimota. Getting certain things done is so expensive. So, for example, in my next episode, I will show you video of my studio when I started. There are things I have done that I have to go in and buy. Please, those of you on TikTok, join my YouTube. So there are things I have done that I have gone to buy the saw machine, the saw cutting machine, the sandpapering machine, and the cutter. All of these are electric. So when you come to my space, almost everything that I do. So if you look at this space, I did this myself. You can just imagine if you call somebody in Accra to come and do this for you, how much they are going to charge. So I've saved a lot of money. I'm building a podcast studio that I want to be renting to those of you who don't have the equipment, because I can actually provide you 3 camera, record or go live straight. Okay, so that one too, I'm doing it. We are doing it ourselves. Okay, most of my guys who work here, they help. They help, and I believe when they get their own job one day, these things will be natural for them. They will be able to do it. So that is very important. That there are things in Accra. If you want to spend money on them every time, you will just be wasting money. Okay. For example, when I did my pergola, I wanted to get a plywood cut, the CNC cutting. I asked a company and they told me that one plywood is 1,500. I'm like, then this thing there, it won't happen. Surprisingly, I contacted a wedding decorator, Senos, and she told me that, oh, I can get it at this place. I should just send the plywood. So I called them, how much is it? And they told me, oh, if I bring my own plywood, it will be 100 cedis. At the time, the plywood was 120 or 110. So just imagine me paying 1,500, and at the end, I did 4 from that 1,500 instead of 1. Okay, so you must be smart in Accra. If you are not in Accra, when I was in Amasawa, you can go and call somebody to come and do a work for you for just a small amount of money. But the people, see, I call a carpenter to come and do a structure for me, and when it rained, everything was on the floor, and I have to do it myself with my guys. Okay, they won't even do it quality for you, but they will charge you big. So you have to also make use of your visual or pre-technical skills. It's very important if you really want to do this. Okay, so yeah, that is how I started, and I've talked about some of the things I have done, especially when it comes to website and the client. In my next episode, I will be showing you some pictures. I will talk about some of the things I use to run the business. So invoicing, booking, and all of that. I will talk about it. And then I'll also try bringing in other photographers and video guys. Then we have a conversation about how they start, some of the things they put in place, okay, to help you start well, okay. Now, I will welcome any question that you have for me on the things I've talked about. I think today I just talked about my real life, how I started. And one thing is that I like good things. I like nice things. So I always look out for nice things. I make sure I get it done, and then it's done nicely, okay. So you can ask your question. You can put your question in the comment section, or you can call me on the 0205927731, and then we can have a conversation. Please, do you have any question for me? My YouTube link, go to the bio. You have the YouTube link over there. It's in my bio. Please, those of you on TikTok, go to the bio. You will see the YouTube link, or you can just enter Andrew Azasu. Andrew Azasu. Azasu is AZASOO. Do you have any question for me from all that I talk about? So my church masterclass 2 will be coming on. It's live. It's happening live on the 21st of September at PIWC Atomic. Okay. So by the close of this week, we will let you know how much the registration is going to cost. I wish it is free. So if you know somebody who can give us money to do the live setup and the banner and all of that, then we will do it free. So somebody is asking, what is the source of my motivation? Do I have a source? I don't also look up to anybody, actually. I just like good things. I want things done in a way. And not to say that I'm sometimes not discouraged. There are so many times I wanted to just jackpot. I've not been thinking about leaving the country, but there are times that you want to leave. But I'm just motivated by the fact that I'll be able to help people. It is one of my dreams to establish an academy where people will learn the real practical, learn things practical when it comes to video and photography. Because I've seen a lot of people go to school, do 3 years, 2 years, and they can't really do certain things, okay? So every day I'm motivated, and I have people also motivating me. I sometimes want to give up, especially at the time that I ran at a loss. I was thinking, let me invest the money into this, and it didn't work out. And I decided to forget about it. But it's also important to have somebody in your life. If it's just one person who will encourage you to keep moving, yeah, you'll be able to. So I can't really place my mind on any source of motivation, but I have something in my head. I have a goal that I want to hit. I'm just praying the economy of Ghana help us to be able to achieve it, because the way it's looking, it is not easy to at the same time. Yeah, you can just imagine if I'm also complaining then. But I'm not discouraging you. That's why I'm doing this program, to encourage you that if you put the right things in place, you can be okay. Yes, you can be okay. If I tell you how much expenses I have to do every month, it's not that easy. Yeah. Please, I want to know whether you accept freshers to train them. Yes, I train people. Every time I've been training, if you see most of my posts, it's training I've been doing. The last time I've given opportunity to about, these people say they are signing up for the training. How many are they? They were about 8 people. I've given them the opportunity to come and learn. They didn't even start. They didn't start the learning. Only one person came. The rest of them, everybody was giving excuses. So when it happens like that, you are discouraged. Okay. So I train. Secondly, I train at a fee sometimes, because once you pay, you'll be serious. I've seen people who didn't pay and they were fooling around. So once you pay, you'll be serious. When you come, you'll be using my fan and my lights and my electricity. So you have to pay something. But the way my training is some way. This is how I train people. So when you come, I can introduce you to triangle of exposure. I can introduce you to this and that. But the where you are going to get the training is when I send you outside. When you go and make mistake and I give it to you over there, this and that, next time you know what to do. Okay, so if you want to be good, it is on the field, not. And when I'm editing, you are around, you are saying it. You just be there one day. I'll ask you to do this for me, and then you you will just be shocked. So that is how I train. I want you to do it. I have people who have worked with me and I have people I've employed. I'm paying them for almost 2 months, and I've never even given them work before. And when it comes to that, you'll be frustrated. I'm sure Michael here has gone through that. Maybe when he was here, I've not given him certain things to do. These days I sleep in my room and give him camera to go and take. I must build that confidence in you. And when you are good, I'll know. The things you can do, I'll know. And that's very important. But you have gotten money. Oh, is it true? Please, I don't have money. I'm looking for money. So if you know where money is, let me know. I like buying equipment. So any money I get, I'll buy equipment. That's why you see quite a number of equipment with me. But I don't have money. I'm not desperate. I don't have money. I'm looking for money. I'm even going to importation. Any other business I'll get, I'll go into it. Okay, so I'm still looking for plenty money. Okay, it's very important to have money. I'm aspiring to be a photographer, video, and a designer. Which courses or how do I begin? Do you have any tutorials or training virtually? Yes, I see. For example, photography like this, it's very difficult to teach somebody photography online. It's very difficult because the way I teach, I will have to give you camera and tell you that this and this is what you do. We bring the pictures and I tell you that, hey, this picture is there, you can't do this here. And I tell you that you have to make this and that constant. You can't shoot this. I will send you to corporate shoot and I will tell you that corporate, they want to see the whole room. They want to see people in action. They are going to write report. When the picture comes, I will tell you, I'll point at your mistakes. Okay, when I finish, you yourself, you don't repeat it. I will talk about it 2 or 3 times. Video. I've been doing tutorials online for video, so that one you can go and check. It's just recent that I've done free. I think it was 100 cities and I couldn't renew my license. So I will look at it and renew it. So that one too. Then the graphic designing too. For now, graphic, I'm not that much into the graphic. Even though I do all my graphics, I always disappoint my client when it comes to graphic because I want to sleep. There are times I finish design before another idea will come, which is nice. So I stop the design for clients. But if you are a client who wants to pay a huge amount of money, yes, fine. Now I have people outside the country I do work for. The nice thing is that you don't charge them when they send you money after you finish the design, like some $100. Just imagine $100 in Ghana cedis. That same design, if you do it here in Ghana, the person will just give you 100 cedis. Okay, the person will just give you 100 cedis. So yeah, it's very important to know what you want to do. Look for any photographer. And I also didn't mention how I learned my things. Okay, so let me talk about it. So when I see something I want to learn, I will go and ask the person that the person should teach me. And I will let the person know I'm a fast learner. So just introduce me. Once the person introduces me, I will go to YouTube. There's a lot of things on YouTube if you don't know. I go to YouTube, listen, watch, practice, and all of that. The first time I missed a video was at Pensa conference when I was in Level 100. People will not go for these programs, but I was there, Level 100, and I saw the person with the mixer missing. That was my first time I saw data video mixer, and I saw him, and then I told him that I can do this. I have not touched it before. I was just watching him, and then that was Mark Vides. Okay, and then he asked me to come in. At the time, he was doing CDs and all of that. He was busy, so I came in. I do the mixing. Oh, they really like it. And then when we closed, I said I will stay with him the whole night to do the CD duplication and then the copy on the CD. And I was learning. I had this guy, this person called Bernard. He was at Kaswa. I leave campus to Kaswa just to go and learn 3D and 3D animation. It's a long time I opened that software, 3D Max. So after some time, I know how to do so many things. So there's YouTube there that you can learn a lot from. There are people doing tutorials, and every time you can go there and learn. Okay. You can also look for photographers. Everybody with their style. You can look for the style you want. Speak to the photographer. Go and learn over there. The mistake some of us are doing these days is that we are just interested in the money without acquiring the knowledge. So go and offer yourself for free. I've done that before. I've gone somewhere, shoot the whole time. Offer yourself for free and learn. Just let it make you a good person, a good video guy, a good photographer. Go and help them. Go and say, oh, let me edit the picture, then show it to them. How does it look like? And then you'll be okay. I really like your camera quality. Yeah, it's Canon R and then R6. So the main one you are saying is R6 and this one is R. I think the light is blowing in this background. So right now I'm thinking of moving this light. Or Michael should have let this light fall on me. Okay. So sometimes it's not just about money. Follow photographers just to go and observe. And sometimes I remember I was training somebody and I told him that, remember, you have to start from somewhere. And where you are starting from is that you are carrying the cables and the bags. So I remember when we close, you carry all the bags. And when I want to carry the bag, he will make sure, he doesn't want me to hold the bag. He will carry the bags and then I will be there and be laughing. He will carry the bag, all the bag. Then one day so you have to be taking pictures and showing me, and then I will know when you are good. I will know. Then one day I realized that, then I gave him camera and then he started. Then when somebody came, he said, oh, please, the carrying of the bag is now your turn. The carrying of the bag is now your turn. Now, when you open a company, one nice thing you have to do is that you don't, please, it's your money. When it comes to packing, join them and pack. You come back and realize that your things have. So it's very important. Be in the process. In Canada, if you're not in the process, you one day wake up and realize that everything is going. You have to be part of the process. Okay, but you have to start from somewhere. You don't just. I also remember in Pensa, when you join Pensa first, and Hansi will tell you that, hey, go and carry cables. Go and carry cables. When you carry cables, after some time, then they can graduate you. Okay, but some of you are talented already, so you don't have to struggle. But it's also good to have people that you can look up to. Go to some of the companies and go and work there. I've worked in a company for about 6 months just to see their process. Okay. Hey, you are asking a question I'm not talking about today. Between Blackmagic and Canon, which one will you advise to go for? As for the cameras, it depends on your budget. But Canon is something we use a lot in Ghana because of the lens. But Blackmagic also have converters, and most at times it uses the Canon. But when it comes to photography, I have not seen people using Blackmagic for photography. That's what I can tell. I have not seen anybody using Blackmagic for photography. So I would prefer to go for Canon for photography and at the same time video. If you see the cameras I'm using, I can use any of them for photography at any time, live streaming photography. Blackmagic is more of the video, so it's going to do more video for you. Okay. I personally want to thank you, Seth, though. Through your teachings, I have been able to stream live using my camera and my laptop. God bless you. God bless you too for paying attention. It's very important to learn. Sometimes we offer ourselves, but they don't want to share their knowledge. I remember last week I made an inquiry from someone and he was demanding 1K for training of just 2 hours. Yes, there's people who have, yes. So it's not everybody you see that will want to give the knowledge. Sometimes it's frustrating. As I mentioned, the last time I gave the chance, some time ago too, I put it out for photography, video, a whole lot of programs. We had only 3 people come in to learn. Meanwhile, I've given the chance to about 10 people. So the 7 people have wasted somebody's time. You see, those people who have come in to learn, but and once it starts, I can't stop and now ask people to join. So there are people who will charge you big, is because it's not easy. What I'm doing, it is not easy. I'm paying for a lot of things. Okay, if you see the church media I'm doing, if you see the softwares I pay for just to have these programs and the things I buy just to have this program, it's not easy. Hey, Wins TVC has keep his questions. Does he? I didn't even see his name, sir. Okay, why do you easily train and give out the knowledge you have to others? Most creative are selfish with what they know. Okay. So, for example, as I'm teaching you right now, I will have done research. By the time I finish talking to you, I have no more. And I'm gaining more knowledge. I don't see why I should be selfish with knowledge that probably I've acquired. I don't see it. Yes, I've seen people, like, they want to be secretive with things. I've seen it before. I've gone somewhere and the person is behaving like want to hide the settings they are using and all of that. But knowledge is supposed to be shared. I just don't get it. Yes, we are supposed to share knowledge. Now, once I share the knowledge, I learn more. For example, if you ask me a question that I don't know, I will go and research into the question. And I will make sure I learn it before I come. Okay. And from the time I started teaching up to now, I've seen that I have a lot. Last week, I went somewhere and the first thing the man said was, hey, I've been seeing your video. You relax and talk and you look like you know what you are talking about. So he's going to test me. And so I was sitting there and then he started asking the questions. And then I'll answer. I'll give him an example. I will give him live example and all of that. When he was looking at me, and he was like, "You are good." And he decided to give me the deal, what he wants me to do for him. Okay. So the more I'm talking, sometimes it's surprising for people when I tell you that, oh, this item you can order it on AliExpress. Meanwhile, sometimes I sell items I buy from AliExpress. I just want you to go through the stress I go through sometimes. Once you go through, you understand how people go through some of these things, okay? The stress I go through sometimes to get these things, and then I reduce the price. Sometimes when I mention price, I mention the price without anything seriously on it. Sometimes I go and pay customer, but something small on it, but still, people will ask for discount. I want crack software for projection. My church doesn't have money. Hey, that one is a sin. It's a sin. It's somebody's intellectual property. But there are crack Easy Worship 9 is there. When you go on, what's the name? Getintopc.com, you should have it. Okay, Get Into PC. But using a crack software is a sin. If you are a church member, it's a sin. For me, it's not. For me, I buy software. That I'm not saying I don't use some crack ones. There's a software I used yesterday called ProShow. It was crack, but most of my softwares I pay for them. Bernard, this is not where you guys are coming to fight. You and Wins TV, this is not where you are coming to fight. Any question? Please, if you want to call, you can call the 020 number, and then I will pick you, and then you can ask your question. And sometimes to just pay a little amount of money to go and learn. Me, I've been doing it for free, but sometimes when people come, they don't pay much attention. They are not that serious, okay? So sometimes we want to take money. Left to me, there are so many things that should be done for free. It's just knowledge. Wins TV. You two have been using crack software. But I just feel like church shouldn't use a crack software. I think I've made that case to my church before. There was some software that were crack, and I told them that no, you can't use crack software. It's a sin. The person is supposed to get money from whatever they are doing. If you can just imagine if I have developed a software and then you crack it and using it for free, I'll be so mad. Okay, so I pick a call from 053. You can go ahead and speak. Let me see if I can pick you in there. Hello? Please, your name. Yeah, hello. My roadcaster didn't want to pick the call. Meanwhile, I tested it today. Hello? Can you hear me? Yes, so I'm trying to put it into the system. It's not working. Give me a few minutes, call back, let me correct that, okay? Thank you once again. I draw more inspiration from you. Good to know. So somebody is trying to call. The call is not connecting to the device. So I'm going to. Yeah, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? You can go ahead and speak. You are connected. Okay, still not working. One that call me, let me test the audio. Yeah. If you have question about what I talk about, hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, my system is not working. This is what technology can do. You can hear me, but I'm supposed to hear you when you talk. And it's not clear. Okay, so it's not working. Please, do you have a slot for church media team? As in going to church for training. As in going to church, the church for training. I sometimes go to some of the churches to train if the church arrange with me. It come at full cost. Okay, I think it's working now. Okay, you can speak. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so your line is clear now.
Asking,
Good afternoon. Yeah, you can go ahead and ask your question.
yeah, I can hear you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I will. For something. How much for?
Did you hear the question? I'm coming in. Let me. I think it's not clear because of the network. Okay, so you just put it in the comment section for me.
Yeah, I'll text you.
Okay.
You have 1 minute remaining.
1 minute per. Okay, so you can test me when I'm done, and we'll take it from there. Okay, so if we don't have questions, you can get in touch with me anytime you have any question. My next episode will be on Monday. I'll talk about the softwares I use, how they've been able to help me. I'll try my best to also look at some of the free softwares that I've been using for most of the work. So I'll do that. I'll show you certain shortcuts in some of the things you can do. Okay. But when you go today, if you don't have a website, go and try looking out for website. Create one. There are a lot of free websites too out there that you can use. Okay. So try getting a website for your business. It's very important. It's going to help you. So thanks for joining today's Pizzle and Profit. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the YouTube channel because I want to chop the dollars. Okay. So thank you very much.